Good afternoon. I'm Assistant Sheriff Dory Korn with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm here today to provide additional details on an officer-involved shooting that occurred this past Friday on September 20th, 2024. Please note we are still early into the investigative process, and we're providing the details today that we know of as of today. This is the 9th officer-involved shooting this year and the 6th fatal officer-involved shooting of the year. At this time, same time in 2023, we had 5 officer-involved shootings, 2 of which were fatal, and 3 of which were non-fatal. This recent event was reported as an auto burglary call at an apartment complex located at the 5100 block of Rawhide Street, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89122. You can see to my left a map of where the incident occurred. The officer involved in this incident is Samuel Garcia. He is 21 years old and has been with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department since 2022. Officer Garcia was armed with a Staccato Model P 9mm, equipped with a tactical light. The investigation revealed he fired 2 rounds. Officer Garcia is assigned to our Community Safety Division at the Southeast Area Command. The suspect in this event was identified as Kyle Wilson Norris. He was a 42-year-old Native American male, 6'3", 255 pounds. Norris was armed with a metal baseball bat. You can see an image of the weapon to my left. The following would be the suspect's charges if he had survived: 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a protected person, and 1 count resisting with a dangerous weapon, not a firearm. The details of this officer-involved shooting are as follows. On September 20th, 2024 at approximately 9:10 a.m., LVMPD Communications received a report of a male, later identified as Norris, attempting to open vehicle doors in an apartment complex parking lot. The person reporting the call advised that Norris was also making threats to the residents in the area. LVMPD officers arrived in the complex and located Norris standing near a gold Dodge Durango. As Norris stood by the SUV, officers issued verbal commands to attempt to gain compliance. However, Norris immediately became uncooperative. Norris remained near the front of the SUV, pacing from one side of the hood to the other. Norris remained in an agitated state as he continued to refuse commands from the officers. Officers attempted to defuse the situation by communicating with Norris and providing numerous attempts for Norris to surrender peacefully. After several minutes of communication with the officers, Norris walked to the passenger side door of the SUV and towards a group of officers who had formed an incident action team. Norris suddenly stopped near the passenger side door, reached for the handle, and immediately opened the door. Norris quickly grabbed a metal bat from the front passenger seat and then began to advance towards officers. As Norris closed the distance, one officer deployed his electronic control device, also known as an ECD, in an attempt to de-escalate the situation. Unfortunately, the ECD was ineffective. The officer quickly tried again, firing a second ECD cartridge, but unfortunately that too was ineffective. As Norris continued to advance towards officers with the baseball bat, a supervisor on scene also deployed his ECD, which was also ineffective. Despite these multiple attempts to de-escalate the situation, Norris continued to advance towards officers while still holding and armed with the baseball bat. At that time, Officer Garcia discharged his duty weapon twice, striking Norris and causing him to fall to the ground. Officers immediately took Norris into custody and attempted life-saving measures using their medical kits. Medical was also summoned, but despite all the intervention efforts, Norris was pronounced deceased on scene. We're now going to play 2 body-worn camera videos to show some of the incident.
Do you even know his name yet? What's your name? What's your first name? You don't have a first name? So can I call you Arizona State? Well, what's your first name then? First? Hey, First, I need you to come over here to my car. This is the Metropolitan Police Department. Yeah, it is. No, it's the police department. Yeah, it is. So, no, they're real plates. And it's a real uniform and it's a real car. No, we don't have brown pants anymore. No, it's not. No, it's not. And did you know that Metro is Clark County, so we cover the whole county. It's Clark County Police Department. So can I have you come over here to me real quick? Why is that? We are the real police. We are. We have a light, we have sirens, we have a uniform, we have our badge, we have everything that shows that we are the police department. So, if you are unable to listen to our commands, then we have to go over there and we have to put our hands on you. Yeah, we do. So, what's gonna happen? Why is that? We're not gonna like the result? No, we'll like the result, okay? So, it's going to be you cooperating and coming over here, or it's gonna be you uncooperating and we're gonna have to go over there. What's the case gonna be? Okay, so we are going to take you into custody regardless. Hey, drop the fucking bag! Drop the fucking bag! Drop the bag!
As you can see in these still images, Norris is holding the bat as he's charging towards officers. That concludes the official portion of this briefing, but I'd like to open up to any questions if you have any.
Hi, Estelle Atkinson with the Review Journal. I have a couple. The first being, the officer said that he was going to take Norris into custody regardless, but then the would-be charges only include assault with a deadly weapon and resisting a dangerous weapon, and at that point, he wasn't holding the weapon, so what was he going to be taken into custody for?
So just to remind everybody, we responded to a call where the suspect, in this case Norris, was opening car doors and threatening the residents in that community. So the officers needed to conduct the investigation, needed to address any potential threat that existed, which included what was reported to them about Norris. So as they responded there, they were still in the investigative process, and they had given lawful commands at that time for him to cooperate and to surrender peacefully. So he would already be violating the law by refusing to obey those commands, those lawful commands.
Okay, thank you so much. And then my other question is, when you say ECD, is that what the public would understand to mean a taser? And then also, when you say that the ECD was ineffective, what does that actually mean? Does it mean that he just didn't stop moving? Or?
So the electronic control device is what we call it, the ECD, and I understand that some people do call it a taser. We use ECD in particular because there are probably other devices that are also referenced to as a taser that are different. Our ECD is designed to be able to lock up the body so they can stop moving. There's, in most cases, as you've probably seen in other incidents where we've deployed the ECD, the individual will gain full body lock and actually fall to the ground. At that point, they will remain locked up so we can take them into custody without them continuing to pose a threat. So in some cases, it is ineffective where it doesn't gain that full body lock and the person's able to fight through it and continue to be a threat.
How often does that happen?
Well, so it depends on what time period we're talking about. I can tell you that if we look at 2023 last year, we know that the ECD was effective in about 70% of the time. So the harsh reality, this is a difficult job. We try to use all the tools we possibly can to de-escalate any type of violent situation. In some cases, it works very well. In other cases, there's other tools that work well, but we do the best we can to use these tools. And then unfortunately, you know, based on the suspect's actions, sometimes if those tools are ineffective, we have no choice but using lethal force.
Thank you so much. And then also, when we were on the scene, we saw that the subject, because he was partially uncovered, had gauze around his head. Was he shot in the head?
You know, we could provide additional details later. I know 2 rounds were fired and he was struck twice. The specific locations of where he was struck, we'd have to get back to you.
Thank you.
Was
And-
Norris from out of state?
So Norris does have some criminal activity from out of state. I don't know what time or what time period he moved here into Las Vegas. We know that he did not live in that apartment complex and he was visiting an acquaintance.
One more question, sorry. Do you know, is it standard to leave the subject uncovered after they've been pronounced dead at the scene?
Well, so every incident is different, but as soon as this incident unfolded and the officers had to use lethal force, their initial response immediately after that was to provide medical attention. That can sometimes involve, removing the shirt for chest compressions or anything like that. And then ultimately, they also summoned medical. So once that did not work and he was pronounced deceased, then it becomes a crime scene, and we have to be able to preserve as much of everything that we see, so that way a proper investigation can follow and be documented. With that, we appreciate your time, and we'll provide more information at a later time as we have it. Thank you.